and every song has a reason why you write it. So basically, I recorded my album as a way to help people process and heal, and just kind of let loose and let yourself be wild and dance around, and not be so serious, but at the same time there is a deeper meaning to it all. And so let's go song by song. 21st Century, describing what 21st century is all about. How it's very tough for us to kind of process it, because all of a sudden it came and like completely just with all its cataclysms, and we just have to hold on, love, and just kind of hold on tight to humanity. That's the whole purpose of that song. Because trust in ourselves. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this. Second song is Sweetest Thing, because basically a lot of fear comes out, right? So what do you have to do? You basically have to ground yourself and allow the people around you to tell you it's okay. Sweetest thing, I love you so. Receive love around you and say, I'm ready to let the fears go. Because you know what? Sometimes we go back to the dark place and caves full of fear, but then you gotta break out of them and be like, it's okay, I'm ready to let it go. Liberation is a very intense song. I wrote it when somebody came to power in the United States. That basically it was such an intense emotional time for everyone, so I went to a demonstration like everyone else, and basically that song, I finally did it, I finalized, but it collected in itself so many different conflicts and growth and human evolution and global warming and all these protests, and we just have to get out there, and we have to believe in the fact that love will set us free one day. It will set us free. We just have to believe in it. We just have to keep rising our love, because no matter what, it will take care of all the tyrants in the world. The higher vibration of love, they're powerless. And then Liberation Woes, it's kind of like around the same topic, but it's kind of like an afterthought where you get hit with this realization that maybe I'm not completely in control, and kind of sometimes you feel like we've been duped, and all these like politicians and everything is going on, and at the same time you have to go out there and face it. We have to go out there and come together and rise up. And Don't Need Anybody is my favorite song. It's just about during the pandemic, everybody went to the woods, the forest, and we realized we don't really need anyone to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be successful, to be kind of grounded. We can just, all we need is a little bit of time. I'll soul for a guide and we'll be fine. But do it to the punk rock. I don't need anybody, because the whole world is inside me, like Franz Kafka. Franz Kafka said, you don't need to see the world, just stay in your room. You can see the whole world without leaving your room. And then Summer of 21, beautiful feeling of the summer coming. COVID's been leaving, everything's been kind of lifting, the fear and like all that stuff. And then Castle Walls, a song about a man being vulnerable. His castle walls are dropping because he decided to take the plunge and trust and love, and that's very important for men to do, to allow yourself to be vulnerable so that castle walls can come down. Don't build castle walls around yourself. You have to let them come down too. And God, Ghost and Ship is a very serious song for me, because it's a kind of observation of what's happening in our life, how we're kind of like sailing on this boat and the ghost is looking on it, trying to do his thing, and then the God's watching the ghost, making sure he doesn't overdo it so that the ship can still sail forward. And then it's a story about there's life, love, and fame. 3 aspects I'm exploring. And then after that, and then The Wizards, obviously, it's kind of most like CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival song. It basically has to do with, this wizard driving home to his wife who has a kid, and they live in a town called Hope, and then he comes in and he doesn't know any tricks. The wizard just knows how to love, and that's it. And the last song, A Small Affliction, is that although we are trying to be perfect, we're all imperfect. We have our small afflictions where we like beautiful things sometimes and we want to have them, but sometimes it hurts us too. But we need to make sure that in the end, you bring yourself back and you say, it's already mine. I don't need to suffer. And then there's a cool remix by House of Motion, which is on the Small Affliction song, which is my kind of collab project with Eric Roseman, who also getting ready to release a whole other album of songs, kind of like spoken word / songs that we worked during pandemic as well. It's coming out next. So that's one song off of that album. That's it. And I released 2 videos for Liberation and Sweetest Thing. I'm gonna keep releasing stuff, but thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned, and let's check in and let me know how you feel, guys. What do you think about the album?